And then if you have any questions regarding yesterday, you can ask me. Okay, first let me deal with the modalities or methodologies that we are adopting. First, there was a request that before we do any puja, I should explain why we are doing that. What is the purpose of doing that puja? What is the purpose of going to that deity and so on? Today we are going to concentrate on Shyama. Shyama represents the gravitational force. Very strong gravitational force that has collapsed the entire world to a single point. It had overcome every resistance to explosion, and that attractive power of gravitational force is represented by Shyama. It is a force of a black hole. Nothing can escape its attraction. In fact, you will find the mantra of a black hole as you go along in the Shyama Puja. Basically, our idea is to attract all the good things in life and get rid of bad things in life. So, we use Shyama to attract the good things into our life with an irresistible force represented by Krishna. Krishna is the universal Akarshana Shakti. Prakashana Akarshisi iti Krishna. He is not known, he cannot be known. In total silence, when everything is collapsed to a point, there is no time, there is no space, there is no matter, and nothing can be known about that. The unknown, unseeable, unknowable, that kind of power is represented by Krishna. And we are familiar with the Rasa Leela of Krishna. Anganam Anganam Antare Madhavam 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 Chantre Nangana Ittama Kalpita Mandale Madjagaha Sanjagavu Veduma Devaki Nandanaha. It says between a Gopi and a Gopi, Krishna is there. And between Krishna and Krishna, Gopi is there. And they are going round in a circle, round and round and round. And he is playing on the murli and everyone is attracted to him. If you observe that there were 16,000 gopis, and between every pair of gopis there is one Krishna, and between every pair of Krishnas there is one gopi. Does it mean there are 16,000 Krishnas? Not necessarily. There is only one Krishna, and that is silence. Between silence and silence there is a thought. Between the thought and a thought is a silence. There is only one silence, and that silence is the Brahmarandhara, which has got 1,000 petals, and the 16 petal lotus here. If you connect lines from each one of them to each one of them, you get 16,000 lines. Each line represents a thought, represents a gopi, and the silence is playing with these thoughts. That is the meaning of the Rasa Leela. So we have to understand the power of Shyama. Shyama also means dark, Krishna also means dark, Kali also means dark, the unknown, unknowable forces. So this is to attract the good forces, the force of love. It's an attractive force which collapses two into one and many into one. That's to get that. In human relationships, we want to attract love, we want to attract a good family, we want to attract wealth, we want to attract social networks, So for these things, Shyama is useful. That is the purpose of learning Shyama. Next, I must remind you that 50 years ago, I was 50 years younger, and 30 years ago, I was 30 years younger, and 10 years ago, I was 10 years younger, and today I am 80 years old. I am growing, I am evolving, I am changing. My understanding 50 years ago was different from my understanding 30 years ago. It is different from the understanding I had 10 years ago. Different from the understanding I have got today. So when some disciple asks me a question 50 years ago, I would have given him an answer. That answer would have changed by when I was 30 years ago. It would have changed again by when I was 10 years ago. It would change again when I am. So there are different versions of answers. The Guru has the right to be inconsistent. Among all the fundamental rights, the Guru reserves the right to change his version based on his understanding, current understanding level. So you don't have to fight about different versions. Every version is right. No matter what version you use, stick to that one version. There may be small deviations here and there, small difference in interpretation. Don't worry about differences. Stick to one damn thing, whatever it is, and that's right. If you have a picture here, and some portion is dark here, and some portion is red there, and some portion is white. Dark is right here, red is right here, white is right there. So there can be different, because the dark is not the same thing as red, is not the same thing as the white. They are not in conflict. This one is right, that one is right, that one is also right. Even though they may appear to contradict each other, their purpose, the intent, the experience they deliver is the same. So don't worry about small differences. And there are a number of teachers here who have been trained by me at different times. They have different versions. I request all the teachers to stand up. I request all the people who are acting as teachers, demonstrators, please stand up. Everyone who is teaching here, please stand up. Or everyone who is interested in teaching, stand up. Now find a chair near to you and stand up on that. Now among these different teachers, you pick your teacher. The number of students here, whom you are comfortable with, whom you like, whom you are attracted to. You pick that one and stick to that one. Don't change your teacher. Don't change your book, don't change your teacher. Stick to that. The teachers may fight, but let them fight. We don't fight. And I think the first time we are learning by watching this video, that may not correspond with the version that you have got. And the version you are using may be different from the one. So you are getting confused whether what is there in my book is same thing that was there in that and what the teacher is saying. The teacher says one thing, the book says one thing, the procedure is being followed is one thing. So there is a confusion in the mind. So I suggest, as one of my gurus has told me, that you let the demo take place first. One person does the actual puja. At that time you don't do the puja. Just observe the person doing the puja. And you have the choice to choose your teacher. The teacher doesn't have the choice to choose his disciples, but you have the choice to choose your teacher. If you are a Spanish speaking person, I suggest you choose Kimana. Well, she is a teacher in her own right. And depending upon whomever you think represents the truth, and being closest to, being defined as being close to Guruji's latest version. And after they do the move, you try to follow that thing. You try to do it yourself. Don't try to do it yourself first time. Okay? As I said, there are enough number of the volunteer teachers can pick and choose. Roughly about, I thought 1:5, but it doesn't seem to be that strong. How many participants are there? About 23, 25 participants, and and we have got about 5 teachers, right? She is one, and Kimera is one, and no, she is a teacher. I designate you as a teacher. And I have proof of that. I have proof that you are a teacher. Unfortunately, I provided that proof to me yesterday. And Shambhu, are you a teacher? No? You are the only Italian here who can speak Italian. And if you have any Italian students, you are the teacher. Designated. Okay.
See, after dinner, we can gather in the courtyard, and the teachers will teach you the mudras. Because learning the mudras takes time. So kindly assemble in one place so that 2-3 teachers will teach you the mudras.
And you should also learn how to pronounce them in Spanish, in Italian, in English, and in Sanskrit, and in Telugu. Okay. This concludes and the organizational issues that we want to take care of. Next, I want to clarify a few things about yesterday. Then we will take on some questions about yesterday's practice. Are you able to hear me? Is my pronunciation clear? Or sometimes my voice, blurs. I have no teeth. And where some teeth, only 2 of them match, the rest of them don't match. So the sound doesn't come out very clearly. If you are having any problem with hearing or understanding what I am saying, raise your hand. I will repeat that. Okay? There's a few general concepts which we have to understand in the pujas. For example, let me take the help of this our great friend. This shows the layout of the puja common to most of the pujas. On the top we have shown Devi looking from top. You see the face, the chest and the yoni. In center is a yantra shown disproportionately large. It is a small thing. On either side of that, to the right side we got Vishesharghya and Akshatas, the rice, yellow rice. And then milk and honey and stuff like that. On the left hand side we got what is called Samanyaghya. Samanya means common. Vishesha means special. A special liquid and a common liquid. The common liquid that we use is water. And special liquid that we want to create or prepare is the nectar. The closest to the nectar is the mother's milk, because it nourishes, it protects. So these 2 functions are inherent in the mother's milk. It's actually blood. It's converted into milk by addition of calcium to that. Okay. So on the left hand side you got water, on the right hand side you got the milk or panchamritas. It represents the properties of the 5 elements. And things that are needed to make panchamritas are there: milk, honey and so on, ghee, this and so on. On this side, you are having a seat on which you are sitting yourself. Notice that the yantra is acting like a camera lens. You are being reflected into Devi and Devi is being reflected into you. What does the camera lens do? Whatever is there on the outside is shown inside. So whatever you are doing, the god or goddess represented there is doing. And whatever they are doing, you are doing. Here, it's a very special kind of a lens. The lens can do some shape shifting. For example, I may be a male 80 years old, and she may be a female 16 years old. I may be clothed, and she may not be. You know, all kinds of wonderful things can happen. So you see, even though the names, the genders, the forms and all these things are different, still it's a reflection. A reflection is in the actions. Whatever I am doing, she is doing, and whatever she is doing, I am doing. That is the kind of reflection we are talking about. The whole thing, the whole philosophy of Srividya is based on this. It's based on Mahavakya, which means I am what I see. If you just understand this one sentence, I am what I see, I am whatever I see, I am wherever I see, only I is there, nothing else is there, entire universe is me. That is the basic concept of Srividya. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atma Brahma, Tattamasi, Soham, Prajnana Brahma. That was Mahavakyas, which mean the same thing. So not only me, who is sitting here, but also she, not only me and she, but also the yantra, but also the water, but also the milk, the Visheshakya, and also all these things, they are one whole. There is only one thing there. The worshipper, the worshipped, the act of worship, every article is being used in worship, everything is one single entity. That is the basic concept. And it's divided into three parts, you can see roughly. Me, what I see, and the thing that connects me to what I see. The things that are connecting me to what I see are these things. So yantra is a lens and the image, and the other side is the universe. I am a map of the universe and the universe is a map of me. Samanya means, so this whole thing is 1 unit. How can this whole thing be 1 unit? Like, I am one, right? I have a face, I have a chest, I have the genital area and the feet. They are all different, right? Face is not the same thing as chest, is not the same thing as the feet, but still I consider myself as one. In the same way, in this whole arrangement here, you are the yoni, the yantra is the heart, and the thing you are worshipping is the head. So she is the head, the yantra is the heart, and you are at the yoni. That's why you say, Adhara Siddhi Kamala Sanaya Namaha. Kamala is the lotus. The lotus stands for the yoni. And you are sitting on the place where the Kriya Shakti, Kriya, the ability to act, that is there. This is Ichcha Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. It is Ichcha, this is Jnana and Kriya. The face, the chest and the... So the whole thing is one unit. And the puja itself is divided into, every mantra in the puja used is divided into 3 parts. The part which acts for me, on me, a part which acts on the yantra, and the part which acts on the deity. So these are 3 parts which are, so you say, for example, am, sauh, or aim, kleem, sauh. One part is placed on you, one part is placed on the yantra, and one part is placed on the deity. So every mantra is used in this thing is divided into 3 parts. All 3 parts are covered in every. So it means that there is the concept of nyasa. Nyasa means keeping the mind fixed at some place. Deshe chittabandho nyasaha, it says. Desha means a place, chitta means the mind or awareness, bandha means hold. So if you are holding the attention on the tip of your fingers, that is nyasa. If you are holding your attention on the chest, that is nyasa. Anywhere, if you hold your attention to the exclusion of everything else, it's like a general anesthesia, but local awareness. That is called nyasa. It's the inverse of the normal local anesthesia. In local anesthesia, a general deadening of the body, only one particular part being alive. So that is the concept of nyasa. Now, why do we have to do nyasa? Because that is the one which leads to siddhi. Siddhis are obtained by dharanas. When you keep your attention only in one place to exclusion of everything else, like for example in the story of Arjuna trying to shoot that Matsya yantra, his teacher asks him, do you see me? I don't see you. Do you see your brothers? I don't see. Do you see the yantra? I don't see. Do you see a fish? I don't see a fish. What are you seeing? I am only seeing the eye of a fish. Local awareness and non-local unawareness is called dharana.